Hi, this is Allison Carr, one of the librarians at CSUSM. This video is going to introduce you to the research module, which will provide the foundation for college-level research. Students take in information while scholars use that information to turn that into knowledge. And now that you've entered college, you are no longer just a student, you are now a student scholar. And as such, we expect you to follow a research process. The research process is a little different than what you might do when you are choosing what stereo to buy or where you're going to go on vacation, but it has some similar elements. In our research process, we're going to start with getting the assignment. These assignments are intended for you to learn something in a different way. You'll learn one way when you go to class and listen to lecture, another way when you're reading the textbook or the readings. This allows you to create a different, your own question and research to find the answers. So you get to choose your own topic, and granted, you won't be able to choose a literature topic in a biology class, but you do have some flexibility in which topic you choose, so it should be something you enjoy. It's awfully hard to do research for an assignment and a topic that you really don't like. So try and find a topic that you're going to enjoy learning something about. Once you have your topic, you need to spend some time understanding the basics, and we do this in a few different ways. So our background research is going to start with some web searching. You choose your favorite search engine, your favorite encyclopedia, online encyclopedia. You're going to be looking at news sources, probably some government websites, some nonprofit organizations, but all of this is going to be general background information. Then you're going to look at some of the scholarly articles and see what the research shows. These articles are written by scholars, they're based in research and analysis, and they do tend to be more specific than what you find on the web. A lot of times what you learn in the scholarly articles will be the things that you cite in your paper, whereas the stuff you have on the web is considered common knowledge. That's not always the case, but generally speaking, what you are doing in these early stages is building that understanding as opposed to choosing things that you're going to use in your paper or your research assignment. Once you've done this research, you will focus your topic. So for example, if your topic is on immigration, after you've read some things on the web and you've started to look at the scholarly articles, you'll have some idea of some of the subtopics. So if you're with immigration, some of the subtopics could be guest worker status or driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants, vigilantism at the border, how undocumented children do in school. All of those are different subtopics that you could learn about in this step of the research process. The next step is to analyze that focused topic, and you're going to do so by drafting a thesis and collecting evidence to support that thesis. The evidence that you use will be scholarly articles, again, written by scholars based in research and analysis, and your thesis will evolve as you learn more about the topic. It's easier to change your thesis than it is to change the evidence to support it. So keep that in mind, that your thesis isn't permanent until you actually turn in the assignment. So once you've got all your research done and you feel really like you have a really good understanding of the topic, you'll complete your assignment. So you'll do some drafts and some revisions and turn it in. The last step that I like to suggest is evaluating the process. How did you feel about what you did? Were you happy with it? Kind of indifferent? Were you unhappy with the process? How could you change some things for next time? What could you do differently to make it better? So a quick recap. We start with our assignment. Again, we're learning something in a new way. We choose our topic. We take time to understand all of the basics of the topic. We do our analysis. We complete the assignment, and then we evaluate our process. This will be the basis for the research module and the work you're doing in the research module for the next couple weeks. After the research module, how can you get help? This is something that librarians can help with throughout the research process, from helping you understand your assignment and choosing a topic to finding all the necessary sources and helping you figure out what all those sources mean. So in addition to emailing your librarian for an appointment, all students in the different majors have their own librarian. Each librarian has a different major that they work with. You can request an appointment. They'll be ready for you and give you undivided attention and one-on-one support for the assignment that you're working on. You can get help at the Research Help Desk on the 3rd floor of the Kellogg Library. We are open during the semester, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. We have students who staff the desk, and they will call a librarian when they need assistance. You can email our reference librarians, and they'll get back to you within 24 hours. Or you can chat with us live. We are available on chat from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. during the regular semester, and you can just go to the library homepage to do that. We wish you all the best of luck, and we will see you in the library.